Hey leaders, this week we are going to be looking at 4 ways that you can lead without ego or lead with humility, whichever way you want to say it. Let's get into it. Alright, in this episode we're going to be looking at 4 keys to leading without ego. And you know, it's so important that you don't become an egotistical leader. Nobody likes egotistical leaders. Nobody likes to follow them. And you may not even realize that you are a bit egotistical. I know, if I'm honest with myself, I have an enormous ego. I think I am God's gift to the planet. And I have to keep that in check all the time. And probably if you're honest with yourself, if you're a leader, there's a good chance that you think that of yourself as well. And the problem is, not everybody sees the world like you do, and not everybody thinks that you're as amazing as your mum told you you were. And so you're going to have to learn to lead with some humility and keep that ego in check. Ego is important for getting the job done as a leader, but you don't want it to lead you because it will actually become destructive for your team. So before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe or follow on whichever channel you are tuning in on, and give us a like or a comment if you're enjoying this content, because we love to hear from you. All right, here we go. How to lead without ego. The first thing is this. You need good people around you. You need to have a team of advisors, a team of confidence, a team of people who will speak honestly to you and can call you on your stuff. If you don't have people in your life that can keep you grounded, that can keep you focused on the main thing, you will find that your ego gets the better of you. And you will sometimes behave in ways that you don't even realize you're doing damage. You know, one of the examples that I sometimes reference is Steve Jobs, an amazingly brilliant innovator, but lost his company because he thought he was so amazing that he couldn't see the people around him that helped him be amazing. And his company ended up pushing him out, and it wasn't until later that he came back and was able to use that incredible genius to really take Apple to the next level. But just be careful that you don't let your ego get in the way. And the only way you do that is you start to listen to people around you. Have people around you that will pull you back down to the ground, not criticize you. You don't want people who are going to tear you down. You know, in Australia here, we have this thing called tall poppy syndrome, where Australians tend to cut people down if they become successful. If you get a little bit ahead of your group, people will tear you down. They will either do a character assassination on you or just ridicule you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that you trust, who will give you honest feedback and critique on how you're going and help to keep you grounded. My wife keeps me grounded. You know, if I do a talk, I'll ask her how that was. She'll say to me, honestly, well, it wasn't your best one. You probably do some work. I didn't like the way you did this point. Now, most other people won't say that to me. You know, people in my team usually don't feel confident enough to tell me that I wasn't on my game this week. And if you've got people around you that are always saying, oh, you're amazing, or you're doing a great job, well, you might give you a false sense of your competence. And so you need people that can just be a little bit honest with you, not cruel, not nasty, but just keep you grounded. And that will help you not to lead with your ego. The second thing is this: you need to get over yourself. Okay? Yes, you need to be confident as a leader. Yes, you need to believe in yourself as a leader, but you also need to keep it in check with how significant what you are doing is in comparison to many of the challenges around the world. I love the story that Olympic swimmer Susie O'Neill tells about the day that she was going into one of her gold medal swims. It was an Olympic swim, and she was really nervous, and she called up her husband and said, I don't think I can do this. And her husband said, well, look, put it into perspective. You're not curing cancer right now. You're swimming in a swimming pool. And so he was sort of, you know, able to keep her in check and help her to put it into perspective, that she didn't inflate the importance of her event so much that it actually crippled her performance, and she ended up going on to win and of course getting the gold medal. But it's really important to get over yourself, not overinflate your self-importance or your sense of self-importance. You know, very few of us are inventing the cure for cancer or, you know, changing the world in significant ways. Yes, you're changing the world. We're all trying to change the world a little bit. but you know, just keep it in perspective. There are a lot of people doing a lot of good things, and you're just one of them. Don't get ahead of yourself too much. Now, I'm not trying to tear you down. I don't want to, you know, but we're talking about ego here, and that's what I have to do sometimes for myself as well. Third key is this. Third key is this. You need to learn to share your successes. Whenever you do something, you accomplish something, there is always a team that's behind you. And you need to look at that team, and you need to be able to share your successes. You need to be able to share with the people that helped to get you there, the people that supported you, the people that encouraged you. And you need to make sure that you don't make it all about you. Sometimes as the leader, you're often in the limelight. You get a lot of the accolade, a lot of the praise. But remember, there are people that got you there. And if you share the success with them, it will help to keep your ego in check. There's a moment in a recent Garth Brooks documentary that I watched. It's a really fascinating documentary where he's accepting a Grammy Award. And like in the story, they say that at this point, he and his wife were having some real significant difficulties in their marriage. But he makes a speech where, I don't remember the word for word, but he basically says to his wife from the stage, no matter where we end up in our relationship, I want you to know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. He was sharing the glory and the success of his music with the person that had been his biggest supporter, his biggest fan, and helped him get there. And that's really important. You need to remember the people that helped you get there, and that will help to keep your ego in check. And the last thing you need to do is be a constant learner. Why? If you are constantly pushing the boundaries of what you know and what you feel confident in, you're never actually going to be in the position of feeling like the genius all the time. You see, if you live in that place where you feel like you've accomplished everything that you wanted to accomplish and you are the best at what you do, what you will find is that's where ego takes over. You start to just live in that place of, oh, look at me, I'm so amazing, look at how good I am. If you're a constant learner, if you're constantly pushing yourself to do new things that you're unfamiliar with, you'll always be in a place of feeling uncomfortable with your competence. I'm not so good at this, I'm still learning. Well, your ego immediately gets brought back into place. If you keep pushing the boundaries and the limits of your growth, your competence, your education, your knowledge, your understanding, you're always going to be in that place of learning, and you're not going to feel so confident that your ego gets in the way. So be a constant learner. That's 4 ways that you can lead with humility or lead without ego. Make sure you've got a team around you that keep you on the ground. Make sure you take the time to get over yourself and keep yourself in perspective with the rest of the world. Share your successes with the people that help you achieve everything that you achieve. And the last one is this: always be a learner. Be a constant learner and a constant grower, and you won't ever get so far ahead of yourself that you think you're God's gift to the world. This is really important if you want your teams to buy into you and want your teams to engage with you. And so if you recognize this in yourself, I encourage you to take the time to do something about it and be a more effective leader. I hope that this has been really helpful for you. Let us know in the comments what you thought. And if there's any topics you want us to cover off in later episodes, just let us know. We're doing this every week, and we'd love to help you with appropriate content. If there's someone you know that would benefit, please share this video, and we look forward to talking to you next time. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you got a ton of value out of that episode. Don't forget to let us know what you thought in the comments. And if you have a topic you'd like us to cover next time, we'd love to hear from you. If you know anyone that would benefit from the content that we produce, please like and share this channel. And we look forward to having you next time on the Tarun Stevenson Leadership Channel.